Hello there, welcome to this video, and now I am very excited to discuss with you the first stanza from the book of Zion in the language Senzar, which is archaic and ancient, and I've given you all the context and read to you in the previous videos, so please have a look at them if you haven't already, and let's get straight to this. It's called the night of the universe, okay? The night of, I told you everything is cyclical. Day, night, waking, sleep, okay? It's all cyclical processes. Living, dying. So, what happens when there is the night of the universe? The eternal parent, bracket space, wrapped in her ever invisible robes, had slumbered once again for 7 eternities. The parent space is the eternal, ever-present cause of all, the incomprehensible deity, whose invisible robes are the mystic root of all matter and of the universe. Space is the one eternal that we can most easily imagine, immovable in its abstraction and uninfluenced by either the presence or absence in it of an objective universe. It is without dimension in every sense and self-efficient, existent. Spirit is the first differentiation from that, capital T-H-A-T, the causeless cause of both spirit and matter. It is, as taught in the esoteric catechism, neither limitless void, nor conditioned fullness, but both. It was and ever will be. Thus the robes stand for the noumena of undifferentiated cosmic matter. It is not matter as we know it, but the spiritual essence of matter. So this is something very important to understand, that when we speak of the night of the universe and we speak of, it's the pralaya, okay? And in pralaya, matter does not exist. Not matter as we understand it in 3D, of course, but matter does not exist, okay? It is the noumena of undifferentiated cosmic matter. So it is basically the spiritual essence of matter, okay? And is co-eternal and even one with space in its abstract sense. Root nature is also the source of the subtle, invisible properties, invisible matter. It is the soul, so to say, of the one infinite spirit. The Hindus call it Mula Prakriti and say that it is the primordial substance which is the basis of the Upadhi, a vehicle of every phenomena, whether physical, mental or psychic. It is the source from which Akasha radiates. By the 7 eternities, eons or periods are meant. The word eternity, as understood in Christian theology, has no meaning to the Asiatic ear, except in its application to the one existence. Nor is the term semi-paternity, the eternal, only in futurity, anything better than a misnomer. So here's a bit of a footnote. It is stated in Book 2 of Vishnu Purana, by immortality is meant existence to the end of the Kalpa. And Wilson, the translator, remarks in a footnote, this, according to the Vedas, is all that is to be understood of the immortality or eternity of the gods. They perish at the period of universal dissolution or pralaya. So gods or universes, as we understand them, dissolve themselves of all the matter and everything in it. So suns and planets and all that, they suns and gods, they all perish at I had to throw it, otherwise my cat is going to shake the tripod. Not at all, I threw to the floor. So let's get back. So okay, so you understand that everything ends, even the gods or planetary bodies, they have huge lifespans. They're nothing like humans, you know. Even if you think about the gods, they have huge lifespans, all right, but they also must cease to exist during the night of the universe. So back to the reading, we were in the footnotes. Such words do not and cannot exist in philosophical metaphysics, and were known till the advent of ecclesiastical, and were unknown, till the advent of ecclesiastical Christianity. The 7 eternities meant are the 7 periods, or a period answering in its duration to the 7 periods of a Manvantara, and extending throughout a Mahakalpa, or the Great Age, 100 years of Brahma, making a total of, this is a huge number, 311 040 000 000 years. Okay, so that is a huge number. I don't think I really need to show you, but that is a Manvantara. Okay, that is basically each year of Brahma being composed of 360 days, and the same number of nights of Brahma, reckoning by the Chandrayana or lunar year, and a day of Brahma consisting of 432000000 mortal years. It's a huge number, right? Humans, we cannot comprehend such large numbers. Okay, there is no reference to this. This is no understanding of how we can interpret such huge numbers. We can't, you know. These eternities belong to the most secret calculations, in which, in order to arrive at a true total, every figure must be 7 times 7 to the power of x. X varying according to the nature of the cycle in the subjective or real world, and every figure or number relating to or representing all the different cycles from the greatest to the smallest in the objective unreal world must necessarily be multiples of 7. The key to this cannot be given, for herein lies the mystery of esoteric calculations, and for the purposes of ordinary calculation it has no sense. The number 7, says the Kabbalah, is the great number of the divine mysteries. Number 10 is that of all human knowledge, Pythagorean decad. 1000 is the number 10 to the 3rd power, and therefore the number 7000 is also symbolical. In the secret doctrine, the figure and the number 4 are the male symbol only on the highest plane of abstraction. Up on the plane of matter, the 3 is the masculine and the 4 the female. The upright and the horizontal in the 4th stage of symbolism, when the symbols become the glyphs of the generative powers on the physical plane. Now we continue with stanza 1. Sorry, that was a notification, but I can't undo it and I can't go back. If I press something, the video may end. So let's continue. continuation of stanza 1. Time was not, for it lay asleep in the infinite bosom of duration. Time is only an illusion produced by the succession of our states of consciousness as we travel through eternal duration. And it does not exist where no consciousness exists in which the illusion can be produced, but lies asleep. The present is only a mathematical line which divides that part of eternal duration which we call the future from that part which we call the past. Nothing on earth has real duration, for nothing remains without change, or the same for the billionth part of a second. And the sensation we have of the actuality of the division of time known as present comes from the blurring of that momentary glimpse, a succession of glimpses of things that our senses give us. As those things pass from the region of ideals, which we call the future, to the region of memories that we name the past. So time does not exist. Saturn's domain is as illusory as the nature of reality. Okay, we are only experiencing time, which is actually an illusion because of our level of awareness, how we perceive the world, like an arrow. But time is not linear. Even with quantum mechanics, we see this popping up over and over. Time is not linear. Okay, everything exists all at once. But time is what stops everything from happening all at once for our consciousness. Because our consciousness cannot accept that expansive information, all that expansive information that will come to us if we become aware of every single thing, because we perceive less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, and we hear less than 1% of the acoustic spectrum. So if we experience time as non-linear, not as a particle but as a wave, it's very possible that we will go mad. We won't be able to deal with that kind of information. So that's why time exists. That's why Saturn's domain exists. Saturn is also the lord of time. Now, in the same way we experience the sensation of duration in the case of instantaneous electric spark by reason of the blurred and continuing impression on the retina. The real person or thing does not consist solely of what is seen at any particular moment, but is composed of the sum of all its various and changing conditions, from its appearance in the material form to its disappearance from the earth. It is these sum totals that exist from eternity in the future and pass by degrees through matter to exist for eternity in the past. So everything exists, everything that we will experience or what we are experiencing or what we have experienced, everything exists, okay? No one could say that a bar of metal dropped into the sea came into existence as it left there and ceased to exist as it entered the water, and that the bar itself consisted only of that cross-section thereof, which at any given moment coincided with the mathematical plane that separates, and at the same time joins the atmosphere and the ocean. Even so of persons and things, which dropping out of the to be into the has been, out of the future into the past, present momentarily to our senses, a cross-section as it were of their total selves as they pass through time and space as matter on their way from one eternity to another. And these two constitute that duration in which alone anything has true existence, or our senses, but able to recognize it there. So there was this track that I heard with Richard Dawkins. I mean, it was a track that was mixed with his voice. He says, matter moves from place to place and comes together as you. I mean, if that is not magical, I mean, we are star stuff, contemplating star stuff. So this is what Theosophy teaches us, that time does not exist. You are an infinite, unconditioned spiritual essence, and you have come into this body to experience the linear progression of time, because that is how you must understand reality, this journey in this physical body, the 3D realm. So that's very interesting to think. It's very highly philosophical and spiritual discourse, actually. Now, stanza 1 continued. Universal mind was not, for there were no he, that is, in brackets, celestial beings, and to contain, bracket, hence to manifest it. Mind is a game given to the sum of the states of consciousness grouped under thought, will, and feeling. So mind, you understand, is divided into thought, will, and feeling. Okay? During deep sleep, ideation ceases on the physical plane, and memory is in abeyance. Thus, for the time being, mind is not, because the organ through which the ego manifests ideation and memory on the material plane has temporarily ceased to function. A noumena can become a phenomenon on any plane of existence only by manifesting on that plane through an appropriate basis or vehicle. And during the long night of rest called pralaya, when all the existences are dissolved, the universal mind remains as a permanent possibility of mental action, or as that abstract absolute thought of which mind is the concrete relative manifestation. So from the universal mind, or Mahat, okay, we derive this mind or this mental action that we do, okay, thinking, feeling, willing. It all derives from the sum of the states of consciousness grouped under thought, will, feeling, okay? It's a universal mind. So we are all tuned in like a hive system to the universal mind. Thereby, if you see that suddenly, if you, that's memes actually. If you understand memes is actually almost communicating from that etheric astral plane, when everybody's understanding of the particular meme is same, irrespective of their social status, racial race, or any of that, okay? So that's very, very important. That means they're actually, we are talking with each other without talking, by just showing people an image or a GIF. So this tells me that, so speech has divisions. Speech, we have Vaikhari, which is speech, how we talk loudly. Then we have Madhyama, which is speech in the etheric realms, okay? And then we have Pasyanti, which is speech in the causal realms. We'll get to that, but this is what's happening to us when we communicate in Vaikhari, which is when we talk or when we speak or when we ideate. All of that comes to us from the universal mind, okay? A noumena can become a phenomena on any plane of existence only by manifesting on that plane through an appropriate basis of vehicle, and during the long night of rest called pralaya. When all existences are dissolved, the universal mind remains as permanent. Existences are dissolved. So the universal mind is indestructible. Okay? It is. the Ahi or Dhyani Chauhans are the collective hosts of spiritual beings, the angelic hosts of Christianity, the Elohim and messengers of the Jews, who are the vehicle for the manifestation of the divine or universal thought and will. The other manifestation, they are the intelligent forces that give to and enact in nature her laws, while themselves acting according to laws imposed upon them in a similar manner by still higher powers. So everything is operating with an intelligent design. If you look at fractal formation, if you look at high velocity images of snowflakes, if you look into Dr. Masaru Emoto's experiments with water, then you know that the whole universe is alive and interactive. Okay, it's and all of them are alive because they get their power from these angelic beings. That's why it is absolutely legitimate to know that angels exist, bodhisattvas exist, buddhas exist. Okay, it's very important to know that. They are but are not the personification of the powers of nature as erroneously thought. So these angelic beings are not just the embodiments of natural forces as we sometimes tend to think. They're really high beings who get their laws from a higher realm of awareness that we cannot be aware of. Okay, and they are much more than just embodiments or personifications of natural forces. The hierarchy of spiritual beings through which the universal mind comes into action is like an army, a host truly, by means of which the fighting power of a nation manifests itself, and which is composed of army corps, divisions, brigades, regiments, and so forth, each with its separate individuality or life, and its limited freedom of action and limited responsibilities, each contained in a larger individuality to which its own interests are subservient, and each containing lesser individualities in itself. So I think we have done a long time with this video, and there's a lot of stanza 1 yet to cover. So let's move on to the next video because I don't want to keep these videos too long. So join me for the next video. Thanks.